Hi everyone, it's a bit noisy tonight because I haven't got my earphones. I left them at home and it's a bit wobbly because I'm just turning up the volume. Anyway, so I'm here tonight to see a lady called Cheryl Richardson, and her work is all about the ability to take care of yourself, so self-care. And if you listen to any of my videos and lives, I'm all about, yes, having goals, but also making sure that those goals don't come at the expense of our health, our fitness, our food, our sleep. I know sometimes it gets a bit out of kilter, especially this time of year, but whilst we're sort of working towards the things that we want to in our life, be that a new career, a new business, that there is that element of self-care still there, because it's actually sometimes not the arrival at the goal that's interesting or where you learn, but the everyday moments of connection in life and the everyday events that sometimes we can easily overlook. So Cheryl Richardson, she's a very well-known international coach, and she writes a lot about self-care, looking after yourself, as well as sort of designing the life that you want, this kind of inside-out leadership that I keep banging on about. And it also reminded me of a couple of phrases, such as Hygge in Danish, le cocooning en français, or even you could go as far as saying the joy of missing out, which for me means about, especially this time of year, making sure that we're taking care of ourselves, that whilst we may have a lot of demands from family, from friends, from other people, the ability to say, do you know what, I actually just want to relish in the coziness of this time of year, take time for myself, stop, reflect, and make sure that I'm enjoying this festive season, being cozy and comfortable where I am, rather than rushing about doing lots and lots of things. So I feel like all these little strands are tying together this evening. We've got Cheryl Richardson, I'll be seeing her, and I'll share some photos of her talk, which is all about self-care and the miracle of self-care. The concept of enjoying the unfolding of our goals in our lives, enjoying those day-to-day connections and moments, rather than constantly hurtling around. And maybe looking at your own life in your own week in the run-up to Christmas and thinking, well, how can I employ the French expression of le cocooning, or the Danish Hygge, or the joy of missing out, which means just basically putting your own coziness and comfortableness, is that a word, at the forefront, rather than rushing around as we can do. Sometimes it's very easy to get caught up, and the ability to employ some mindfulness and just stop and say, hang on a minute, I'm just going to stop and think about, am I really doing this for a good reason? Or perhaps I could employ some cocooning, or perhaps I can employ the joy of missing out. And do I have to go out tonight? Do I have to do these things? Or can I just relax in the comfortableness and coziness of my own home or my own surroundings and do something a bit more relaxing? The other thing as well is that this event's at the Cecil Sharpe house. I had no idea who he was, but apparently he was the forefather of English folk music. So that's something I've learned tonight that I didn't know before. Anyway, I'll share some photos about Cheryl Richardson's talk and invite you just to stop and think about whether you need to do some cocooning, some relaxing in the run-up to Christmas. Anyway, whatever you're doing, enjoy. Bye!